So power can flow into and out of our circuits through individual elements. Where we have power flowing out of the circuit, we call that a passive element, or also we refer to this as a load, and this can include things like resistors, light bulbs, or electric motors. And if we're taking power out of the circuit, we have to put power into the circuit as well. So the elements that put power into the circuit are called active elements, or sometimes referred to as power sources, and include things like batteries and electric generators, stuff like that. Now, there's a sign convention that we use to talk about these two different things, and we call it the passive sign convention, and it arbitrarily defines power flowing out of the circuit to be positive and power flowing into the circuit to be negative. So let's draw two generic circuit elements, and we do that just using blank rectangles connected with a wire on each end. So this symbol can represent passive or active elements, but if it is a passive element, then power is going to be flowing out. So we can label that on power going out, and if it's an active element, then power is going to be flowing in to the circuit, basically through that element. So if we labeled on a direction for current, let's say in both of them, it's just going down. And we have an expression for power. It's just P is equal to VI. Now you might sometimes see little plus and minus signs like this on circuit elements, and these indicate the polarity. So what this means is when we have current flowing, if the current flows into the negative side of an element, then we refer to that current as negative in this expression for power. If the current flows into a positive side of the element and out the negative, then we input this as a positive value here. Now voltage we're going to be considering positive, so positive times a positive gives a positive value of power, and power flowing out of the circuit we define as positive power flow. If we consider the current negative, because it's entering the negative terminal, then we have a negative times a positive gives us a negative value for power, and we consider that negative power because the power is flowing into the circuit, which is part of the definition of the passive sign convention. So let's just write this out. So when we have a value of power that's greater than 0, it's positive, and we're going to refer to that as dissipated or absorbed power. And when we have a value of power that's less than 0, that's negative, and that's basically going to be called delivered or generated power. So let's just run through a really basic example where we have a circuit with two generic elements with known polarities and a known current. And let's say that we also know the voltage. So let's say that this is 9 volts, and this would be 9 volts as well. Meaning that the voltage at this terminal is 9 volts less than this terminal, and same here, this voltage is 9 volts less than this voltage, which makes this whole wire basically the same voltage, which is 9 volts less than this whole wire. So at first glance, when you look at this, you might not be able to tell which is the passive and which is the active element, but we can do the calculation. So for this one in the top middle, let's have P is equal to VI. The voltage is 9 volts, and the current is entering through the positive terminal because it's going clockwise in this loop. So we'll input that as a positive value of 3 amps, and that's going to give us a value of positive 27 watts. And because it's positive, this is power dissipation or absorption, and this would be a load in the circuit. When we look at this one here, power is entering through the negative side. So in the P equals VI expression, then we're going to assign, well, we have 9 volts, and then we'll consider the current to be negative 3 amps as it's entering the negative terminal, and that's going to give us a value of negative 27 watts. And this negative value represents that power is being delivered or generated, or basically being put into the circuit at this point, unlike the other one where the power was being taken out of the circuit. So really what we have here is we have a power source and a load, and in this case, we could represent this circuit as, let's say, a 9-volt battery, and then a resistor that's dropping by 9 volts across it. And so if we just have the same current of 3 amps going clockwise, then we could also just determine what the resistance is of the resistor with the Ohm's law, which is just V equals IR. And we can rearrange that so we have 9 volts over 3 amps, and that would just give us a resistance of 3 ohms. So these two circuits are equivalent. When you look at this one on the bottom, it's more obvious that the battery is the power source and the resistor is the load, but sometimes you might be given it in more generic terms, just to annoy you or just to check if you're, if you know what you're doing or paying attention. So just watch out for that. But yeah, as we go around a circuit, basically we have the conservation of energy at play. So the sum of all power dissipation or delivery of a circuit must be equal to 0. So that's why we're seeing exactly we have 27 watts being dissipated or leaving the circuit at this load. And then we have 27 watts being delivered or generated at this power source. So yeah, as you progress through circuits, you're going to sometimes be noticing that the polarities are indicated on elements. And just know that according to the passive sign convention, that we're defining power flowing out of the circuit as positive and into the circuit as negative. And that comes from the way that we treat positive current flowing into the positive terminal of an element to be positive value, and then current flowing into the negative terminal of an element, which then determines whether the whole value of power is positive or negative, and then ultimately if power is being dissipated or delivered.